Yay. Hi, good morning. Oh, wasn't yesterday amazing? I just I had a lot of work, but I slept really good just knowing that we got through day one. We had amazing speakers. I got so much positive feedback. And you guys, I love that. I will be sending a survey after because I want to make the next summit even better. So I definitely want to get your feedback, the parts that were your favorite, all that good stuff. So officially, welcome back to the Creative Marketing Summit. We are thrilled to have you here for this incredible event where we'll be exploring all things marketing and learning from top experts in the marketing industry. Oh gosh, I'm so excited for you to be here. It is truly a dream come true. And I have never dreamed that I could get these amazing speakers and have just over 400 of you sign up. It is insanely cool. I want a big thank you to Tailwind. Tailwind is a tool I use for Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. And I've been using it for a while, but I've been helping to educate a little bit for them, doing audits and things like that, and getting to know all of the people there at Tailwind or, in that area. And they've just been fabulous. And having them agree to sponsor this summit because it was a great summit and it had great speakers and all the good things was really a boost for me to move forward even. And so I just have to thank them tremendously. I will be making sure to put in a forever free trial in the chat in Facebook once I'm done with this. And really at the heart of this summit, I really wanted to bring amazing marketing education free to all female service providers. That was really, truly the goal for me. And it's happened. So I am really excited that we're going to be having Greg Starling from Tailwind doing a live presentation for you. And then we'll jump right into Cynthia Pacheco's presentation. She's from Digital Bloom IQ, and her presentation is about SEO. We've had a lot of people excited about that. So definitely make sure to get your pencils and notepads or tablets and pens ready, as there's going to be so many aha moments today and action items for you. And I don't want you to miss all of the golden nuggets shared. And also when you hear certain things, at least for me as a business owner, I go into my head and I think, okay, how can I apply this to my business? And then I have to-do items, right? So don't just list down these aha moments, but that little thought that's going through your head of what you're going to do, definitely put that in there. Just as a little reminder, free ticket holders have 24 hours to watch all the videos, and then they're going to be gone. Because the upgrade to the VIP not only saves them for replays, and there's a workbook and all the things, right? But it allows you to take time and methodically go through those videos and, take action on them one at a time versus watching all of them and going crazy. You also have, hold on, Greg just popped in, so happy. You all have the ability to watch them for free, take all those notes, but session one will be gone later this afternoon. I know, it's so sad. So if you haven't watched that, you definitely want to make sure you watch that before it's gone. Or however you want to put it, if you want to ensure that you have the replays, because who's got all day to watch videos? Although I have been. You also get access to Zoom for the second live Q&A happening this afternoon. We just put it out there. It's 4 p.m. We're going to stream that into Facebook, but VIP ticket holders get to attend live and ask any question they want from the speakers that are able to come on this afternoon. So that's going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern time, with free access to my Pinterest Strategy Academy group coaching for 30 days. And the price of the VIP ticket is currently $79. After 12 o'clock, whenever I have a break in between, I'll be taking down that $79 price, and we're going to be making it $99. So please, please, please go get it, upgrade it, and do all the things that you need to do. Please type #live or #replay so I can see when you watched it. Note that day one, to look up day one videos, just type #day1am or #day1pm, and the video will come up. Okay, I'm going to save the rest for after, because I really want to get right to Greg if he's available, because he's got some great things. I'm going to do his intro, and then I'm going to see if he can. Greg, why don't you try to see if you can share while I'm doing your intro? Because if you can't, I want to give you permission or whatever it is, but I think you can. Greg Starling is from Tailwind, but he is the AI guru of Tailwind, right? He's the one who created all these things he's going to tell you about that are in Tailwind, which kind of act like ChatGPT, if you ask me. He's going to be talking about unleashing the potential of AI in marketing and content creation. Meet Greg Starling, who is the head of Tailwind's Innovation Lab. Over the last 25 years in the technology industry, he has managed and directed engineering teams as a VP of Technology, CIO, and CTO. Greg has directly worked with over half of the Fortune 100 companies and was integral in some of the latest innovations coming out of both Apple and Airbnb labs. He's spun up a few side projects that have been featured in places like Wired Magazine Inc. and Mashable, and is currently writing a book on generative AI. I mean, without further ado, let's get right to Greg.
That makes me sound a whole lot better than
I'm telling you, I think you're great, but you're very humble, but you are great.
Jen did not pay me to say this at all, but I am, as she mentioned, writing a book. I think I would pay the $80 just for the coaching from Jen to make sure that I do things the right way. But one thing, so I do want to get in. I would like to do a slideshow, but I don't know. It seems weird to me.
Don't worry about it. Do it however you want.
We'll just do it this way.
Information is the most important part.
Yeah. So Jen mentioned that it's like ChatGPT. Here's the truth. It doesn't matter if you're using Tailwind, you're using ChatGPT, you're using OpenAI's Playground, you're using Jasper, you're using Bing, Copy AI. We all use the exact same underlying technology. So there is nothing fancy about the underlying technology that we're using. Actually, it's incredibly fancy, but there's nothing unique. So what all of us do, and I'll get into this a little bit, is we all put our own kind of secret sauce, for lack of a better word, on top of this underlying technology. So ChatGPT is about as raw as you could get. It is right there on the layer that OpenAI is the parent company, heavily backed by Microsoft. We work with Microsoft at Tailwind. I actually talk to a really awesome guy named Ashish Jamin twice a week at Microsoft. He's the head of their product for Bing, to make sure that we're really aligned with where they're heading. It's a really great partnership, and it allows us to do some interesting things. So I want to work through this quickly. I tend to talk fast. People oftentimes don't realize I'm from Oklahoma because they say I don't talk like somebody from Oklahoma or sound like somebody from Oklahoma, because I tend to talk a little quicker than I probably should. But I do want to talk a little bit about AI and marketing, content creation, and why I think you ought to be doing it. And I'm not going to hard sell Tailwind. I believe in Tailwind heavily. I actually came to Tailwind about 4 years ago. Right now, I've known the CEO, Danny, for over 10 years. We met every month for coffee until I came to finally figure out how we could work together. So I believe in Tailwind. I believe in the product. I believe in where we're heading, but I'm not at all going to try to hard sell it. I'm just going to try to explain a little bit about why you should probably be using generative AI in some sense, and maybe why you might want to take a look at Tailwind. But I definitely am not going to say use Tailwind over somebody else. What I will say is my wife is an amazing solopreneur, like so many of you. She's an awesome lady running a really great business. And she uses Tailwind, and she uses all of my prompts. And so I wouldn't roll something out there that I wasn't great with my wife using. And so every single thing that you'll see here is something that I use, that my wife uses. If I thought another platform was better, I would tell her to use that other platform, because in the end, I want her to be successful and make money. So one of the things that was terrified about, I think there was a lot of, kind of, they call it FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt around what the networks like Pinterest and Google and other search engines like Bing would think about in terms of AI generated content. And they've been really clear about that. They are not against AI content. They are against bad content. And so this is a direct quote from Google, and I actually have a link here in the deck. And I've sent this to Jen too, so I think she put it in was going to put it in the chat GPT conversation from yesterday, but we can share it in the group as well for the full statement from Google. But Google is very much, this is again the quote: "At Google, we've long believed in the power of AI to transform the ability to deliver helpful information. Google will not," and they've been very clear about this, "they will not penalize AI created content. What they will penalize is bad content." And so that's where I say a lot, it's really important for people to work together with the AI generated content. It's really important to make sure it sounds like you, feels like you, and there's ways to do that. But what we're seeing, and Jen's got a little bit of a sneak peek into some of where we're heading, but what we're seeing is anywhere from a 5x to a 20x speed improvement on content creation. So where somebody was taking a full day to do some content, they're now being able to do that in an hour, or they're taking a week to do, they've been able to consolidate a week down into a day. And there's some really good benefits to that. And whether you're trying to gain back time or grow your business, either way, it's a really important step. And so why would I use AI? And again, any AI, I would say any AI, I think you ought to take a look at it. One, it's going to supercharge your creation. In fact, here's an interesting thing. I wrote this slide and the next slide as well in just kind of normal language. And then I basically gave it some instructions telling it, more or less. And I'll just be real honest here. I was using ChatGPT for this particular thing because Tailwind doesn't help you create slides for a presentation. And I told it, I act like a world-renowned TED speaker who is giving a presentation to a bunch of world-class marketers, and then give me the information like that. And so I took a really generic slide, and it came up with these really, what I felt like were really solid bullet points. And so it helps you supercharge your creation. You can literally produce hundreds, if not thousands, of distinctive product descriptions, social media posts, really any kind of other marketing pieces in a matter of minutes. And again, I don't think that's the be all end all. I don't think that's the end of the journey, but man, it sure helps get you off. I think and I'll throw myself in there. I fancy myself a creator. I probably think a lot of us tend to romanticize the blank page, the blank canvas, and think, oh, it's a world of possibilities. But the truth is the blank page oftentimes hangs us up. It can be daunting and it can be scary. And while we can say, oh, the world is our oyster and everything is a possibility and I can do anything at any point at this time, the truth is just getting started is oftentimes difficult. There's a really great book called 0 to 1, and it basically talks about how getting from 0 to 1 is much more difficult than getting from 1 to 10. And so I think AI does a really good job of getting you from 0 to 1 and getting you to a good starting point. It saves you a massive amount of time. Like I was saying just a few minutes ago, we're seeing through real tests anywhere from 5x to 20x improvements on time. And I think there's a few things, and I've heard this from different creators. I was actually talking to a creator that I respect a ton. She's got a young family, and she was basically saying that now, using some of the tools that we have, she's gone from being able to do what she was doing in 5 days down into one. That's a 5x improvement. But what she was wondering, and what she was asking me, and there's no right answer to this, but I think it's an interesting question. She's like, do you think now I should create 5 times the content? Or she said, or should you think I should just create the same amount of content and maybe spend some more time with my 3-year-old and 6-year-old?
I'm
And I think
sorry, that just hit, because you're talking to female service providers, and many of them are moms. So
right.
yeah.
And, you know, I know my wife made a lot of decisions. Now my son's now 13, but when he was younger, that she probably didn't grow the business at the level that she could have, because she prioritized, you know, making sure she made the cookies for my son's different events and those kinds of things. And so and maybe there's even a middle ground. Maybe you double the content you're creating. You know, maybe you go from doing 1 blog post and all the social media around that a week to 2, but instead of that taking 5 days a week, you're taking 2, and you're still able to spend more time with your family and things like that. So I think the time savings, it depends on how you want to use it. I mean, different points in our life, we all have, I hate to sound too, I don't know, flowery, but different seasons that we all are going through. There are different priorities and different things that we want to do, and different things that are important to us. And so just you can't get time back. Like, time is like a non-renewable resource. And so being able to get any kind of, you can save time and then be able to move it in other ways, I think is an incredibly good gift. And I think AI gives that in spades. Another thing that it does, and I actually use this a lot, is to spark creativity. It is really, really good at brainstorming a lot of concepts. And I know at Tailwind, and again, I'm not trying to oversell what we do, but the way that we've structured a lot of the prompts are around things like asking it, give us novel ideas, give us unique ideas, give us counterintuitive ideas. That is actually one of the problems of using ChatGPT or OpenAI straight out of the box, is it by design will give you boring and bland. I said this a little bit yesterday in the ChatGPT. It will give you boring or bland content, because that is what it is designed to do. It is designed to give you the most likely outcome, the most likely next word, the most likely next phrase. And so by being able to put some prompting on top of it, say, don't do that, give us a really unique take, tell us something compelling, give me an idea that goes against the grain, give me an idea that's different than what the general consensus might be. By asking it and prompting it in some of those ways, you'll get much better results. And so that, even if you don't use us, if you use ChatGPT, that's one thing I would highly recommend, is don't just say, give me a Pinterest pin description. One, there's a lot of reasons why it's not very good at that. It's using data that's a few years old. But 2, it's going to give you a pretty boring, bland Pinterest pin description. Say, give me a unique and compelling Pinterest pin description that comes from a different perspective, or targets a specific audience, things like that. The more specificity, the more specific you can be, the better you'll be. And it's slash cost. I'm not going to try to play this up, but I imagine most people on the call are business owners of one sense or another. And so bottom line does matter. And I hate to be the person, since I'm on the automating side, not on the side of getting automated, and I'm very aware of that. But at the same time, we are already seeing small businesses not backfill, not rehire, and very real, and I know it's anecdotal, but they're very real conversations that I've had with people that said, we had a person on our team that did Pinterest, we had a person on our team that did Instagram, and we had a person on our team that did the other social media pieces. The Pinterest person, this is a conversation I had last week, the Pinterest person left, and because of being able to use AI, they're just not going to refill that position. So it was a little bit of honestly, it's on the bigger end of Tailwind businesses, because we tend to work mostly with solopreneurs or very small teams, 2-3 person teams. This was a 10-person company. But now they lost one of their employees, and they're not going to replace. That's a real cost savings. I know we talk a lot about outsourcing. It's significantly less expensive to use AI than even to outsource overseas to places like, the Philippines or things like that. And unless you have a really good VA, it's going to be a much better quality as well. So if you use these,
I just want to pop in real quick,
please,
because I know a lot of people are going, I'm going to lose my job. And that's actually not the case. I just want to be very clear. I have an agency and I work with 11 different clients to work on their Pinterest. And yes, they could do it, and they could do it with Tailwind to make it easier. But most of the people, if not every single one of my clients, are outsourcing because they don't want to take the time. They don't want to do it, right? And
That's
it
right.
takes someone who's strategic to not just put the words together, but to make a pin that looks a certain way and put it at a certain time and pin it to a certain board. And so I just wanted to make clear what I've done is it's allowed my VA to be more creative on creating graphics and things for social media and all the other things that I don't like to do. And we've also been able to, so she gets to work on stuff she likes more, and it opens us up to be able to add more clients to the agency. So
Yeah.
don't panic, but if you are trying to cut costs, this is a great way to do it. So I just
Yeah.
want to get both sides.
I think that's a really good point. And honestly, what we're seeing, and again, I'm not trying to be gloom and doom at
No.
all, but what we're seeing is it's actually opening up more work for agencies, because companies are not rehiring those marketing positions, and they're hiring fractional. We're seeing
Yes,
a lot of people hire fractional CMOs, fractional marketers, fractional, really across the board. And so as they cut costs, they're not looking to do this themselves at all. They're looking for agencies and outsource to agencies. And so this is a really great way to be able to actually be able to onboard more clients for agencies.
exactly. I agree.
Um,
I just wanted
so
to, I know you and I know how you meant it. And I just wanted to make sure what didn't get taken wrong. So thank
no,
you.
yeah, that makes total sense. So I am gonna plug Tailwind just for a second, because I do really truly believe in it. There's not a single thing that I roll out that I don't personally, and I say roll out, it is not me. We have a massive team of incredibly smart men and women who are unbelievably good at what they do. But in the end, I do get the final say on what ends up or doesn't end up in the labs area, since that's what I run. And I don't put out anything in the labs area that I'm not proud of. It reflects on me, reflects on what I do, it reflects on who I am. And so every single prompt out there, like, I'm happy with it. And if it's not good or if it's not better, I always tell people, let me know, because I want to fix it. But so that's why I want to get what maybe makes Tailwind's Ghostwriter a little bit different is, or as the Chat GPT said, distinctly different. Not all AI solutions are the same. There are qualitative differences that can impact the marketing and that impact what comes out. I think this next piece is really important. We are not an AI company. Tailwind is not an AI company that came up with a marketing solution. We are a marketing company that has incorporated AI. So everything that we've done has been built around the idea of what works for marketers. We have one of the biggest, they talk about like building moats in business, like how can you build a moat? How can you make it really difficult for people to copy or to mimic what you do? One thing that Tailwind has as a moat is we've been doing this for a decade, and we posted millions of pieces of content. And not a lot of other companies in this space have that amount of data to be able to draw on. They don't know what Pinterest pins have worked over time, how Pinterest pins have performed over time, how they've changed. We're able to take all the data, all that information that we have, run it through some really interesting AI and some machine learning specifically, and use that to inform how we're structuring the data that comes out. And that's the other thing too. I know Jen mentioned this yesterday in the, I think it was, it would have had to have been the Chat GPT one, where if you ask it, like, if you ask some of these platforms to do something like write a Pinterest pin description, it'll throw out hashtags. People don't
It
use,
does it wrong because
right,
it's only through 2021.
right, which was the right thing to do in 2021 or maybe 2020, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
you're so smart.
But ours doesn't, because we know how to structure things. We know what, and so we're constantly changing things. We're constantly evaluating the data, seeing what pins are performing, and then using that to tweak. Now, whenever I say constantly, we've only had our AI stuff out about 3-4 months. We've been looking at this space for a little over 2 years now. We actually acquired a company a little over a year ago that really helped us move into the space even quicker. 2 years ago, we started looking for a company or some expertise here. Going back to what was at the time GPT-2, And then GPT-3 came out, and GPT-3 is what ChatGPT is built on top of. And so we've been messing around with this for a while. But we've seen even things that we were doing 3-4 months ago have changed. You know, as we've gotten the data back, we restructure some of the way that we're communicating. So with that, I'm going to jump out to, if you all don't mind, to Tailwind and just show you a few things.
Yes, absolutely. We want to see it. I will go ahead and say that, oh, you're so quick. I've been using the AI to help create different text for every graphic. A lot of us, to save time, will use the same title, the same text on a pin. And this helps me to make, and I'm ranking so much better with my pins with it. So just wanted to put that in there.
Yeah, I think that's really, really a big deal, because again, it's not even necessarily, in that case, not even necessarily saving you time, but it's letting you put out a better quality product.
Better quality, which is what you talked about for Google, right? It
Right.
wants better quality. That's
Yeah. So we, over time, are incorporating bits and pieces of AI into the entire platform. But if you ever just want to see what we're doing and what we're testing out, we have this little link over here called the AI Labs. And so this is my world. This is where I hang out all day. And so I'll show you a couple of quick things we can do. We actually just added this yesterday where you can search, because I was getting really irritated. I couldn't find things. So if you just want to search for Pinterest, or you want to search for YouTube or whatever.
And just for clarity, this is not on the Tailwind website. This is if you have a Tailwind account.
That's right.
Just letting you know. And there's a Tailwind Forever free plan right now. I don't know when that's going away, so definitely hop on it. I put the link in the comments.
Yeah, and that may go away. So
I'm sure it's going away with all of this innovation. So that's why I'm trying to get people to hurry up.
Yeah, so we do have a forever free plan. We also start off with a relatively decent plan at $10 a month. So it's a relatively low cost. My wife subscribes to the $20 a month plan. So again, whatever works for you and your business. But yeah, sign up for free, test it out, give it a try. They're sorted over here, you know, so you can see all the different things if you want to kind of see the different pieces. We are creating anywhere from, or adding anywhere from 5 to 10 new pieces to new components every week to this piece. I'll get a little more into that, kind of what our roadmap looks like. But next week, I believe next week or the week after, we'll be adding Facebook ads, Google ads, and some SEO content, some ways to look for websites that you might want to look for backlinks. So that's just kind of a little sneak peek that nobody outside of Tailwind knows what's coming. So we can just keep that between us for now, because I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but that's coming. But like, say you wanted to,
I love when you share things like that.
Say you just wanted, Tailwind is known for Pinterest, even though it is now a smaller part of what we do. But this is actually integrated into the main product. But I can just kind of start here. So say we want to do a featured product, and I don't know why, but I've always liked a polka dot dress. And we want to add some keywords. And so keyword could be like summer dress, maybe just call it barbecue. I don't know. And I want to add a call to action, like check out our sale. And so now I'm going to generate the descriptions. And so what this is doing while this runs in the background is it's taking our layer of our marketing layer, our knowledge of what we know and how we know how to communicate, what we know Pinterest is looking for, and then it's going and querying that same underlying tech. And so that's why I hear people a lot that say, well, why wouldn't I just go directly to ChatGPT to get my Pinterest pin descriptions? Why wouldn't I go to OpenAI and their playground to get my Pinterest pin descriptions or whatever it might be? And you absolutely can. But what we have that's a little different is we know what Pinterest is looking for. We have a monthly call with Pinterest. We have calls with almost all the different networks. We kind of have an idea of what they're looking for, what they want, and we're able to incorporate that into our kind of middle layer that lies in between Tailwind and these different GPT large language models underneath. So you can see here are actually 3 really solid. I think anybody, if you had a polka dot dress and you wanted to use summer dress and barbecue, I think you could see This is not scripted. This is not a video. These are really
That
solid.
is crazy. I literally, every time I use these tools, I feel like there's someone peeking over my shoulder and knowing what I want to see.
Yeah, I mean, and I think to Jen's point, you can now, if you had that polka dot dress, you can now use it for 3 different creatives. You know, you have different images. You can now, as far as Pinterest is concerned, and they actually don't love me saying this, but you can tweak the image 3 different ways and use 3 different descriptions. And as far as Pinterest is concerned, from like a technical level, you have 3 totally unique pins that are all leading back to the same product. So that's one of the ways that you could use it. Just kind of a quick, I know we're kind of known for Pinterest and that kind of a thing. So wanted to show you Pinterest, but also wanted to show you this thing is some of the stuff here is actually pretty cool. This is a sentence expander, and I'm literally, I'm not cheating here. I'm going to copy this right now. The first sentence, and I did pull this up earlier just because I wanted to have it, but just a Wired magazine article on smart home. And I'm just going to copy and paste in the first sentence. Now, from that, the idea isn't for you to go to Wired and grab their first sentence. It's more like you have a concept, you have an idea, you have a sentence, and you're like, man, it'd be cool to take this sentence and create some longer form content. Or, you know, I actually had an idea the other day for a country song that popped up, being from Oklahoma, even though I'm not a big country fan, a lot of people here are. And I was talking to a buddy and I said, you know, I'm rich until I have to pay the bills. And I thought that sounds like a country song. And then so that's kind of the idea here. You have an idea or you have a concept for a sentence, and you can expand it or let it expand it into much longer form content.
That's amazing. If you want to write a blog post and like you were talking about that getting started, it helps to like get started. This is great because you can take this and then you could put your thoughts and feelings and brand words and all that stuff throughout it.
Yeah. And I think
how many paragraphs? That is insane.
It's like 4 paragraphs, something like that. I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to I think editor is what, yeah. So we have an editor and proofreader. This is actually one thing
that's what I need, and I didn't even know it was in there.
Yeah, so right now it's limited to just 2,500 characters. That's about 500, 600 words. And you have to paste the whole daggum thing in, which is not great. What we're working on is where you can just post in the link.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
So for those of you who care, internally our link generator is called Scooby because it's always out hunting, like, you know, the Mystery Machine. And so that's what that comes from, the Scooby piece. We'll see how this works. I'm doing this all live. Live demos are terrifying. Hopefully this works. So here's what it says.
It's gonna work.
Yeah, no, it works. Great over the text is engaging, so blah blah blah. But here's it telling me some line editing. Replace the phrase take action accordingly with act accordingly. Replace the phrase the way we want it with how we want it. Talks about tone and voice, add more conversational elements to the text, make the tone more informal throughout.
Oh my God.
Add more information about the potential cost saving. So it's giving you some advice on how to make your content better.
I'm gonna cry.
So
this is so great. And think about it. Like, you get this. Let me ask, do you get this with the free plan?
You do.
And then the $10 and the $20 or whatever.
Yeah, you get it. So this is actually, here's a tip for the people today. This is totally free and unlimited usage for now. We do have what we call like ghostwriter credits where you only get so many, but anything that is in the AI area that has this beta tag does not count against your credits. Because we don't feel like it's
you want us to test it. That's
we don't feel like it's necessarily ready for prime time. And so we're not charging you for anything that we don't feel is like ready for the big show. So
and the bigger plans get more credits because I have
that's right. That's So And so right now we're really, really simple. I don't think we'll ever get more complicated than this. People tend to, a lot of other companies are like, this costs so many credits or this costs so many credits. I think that's confusing. For us, a credit is just you ran it. So it's not like creating this as 3 credits and using this other thing as 1 or anything like that. It's more like, okay, you created Pinterest pin descriptions. that's a credit. You did this, you edited your blog post, or you wanted to get editing back, that's a credit. And so on the free plan, you get I believe it's 10 credits a month, which is very not much. But like I said, like anything in beta, unlimited. You can use it, test it. And the vast majority of the stuff here in this is in beta. The only things that really aren't are the Instagram and Pinterest pieces, because those are, we've actually incorporated those into, and I can actually show you here. You don't see the beta tag here.
Yeah.
Whereas like with a YouTube video outline, you do. So that's
cool.
we're not clear about that. I think intentionally so. The pricing people are like, we don't want people to really realize that, but heads up. That's the way that
for sure. I mean, I'm sorry, but this everyone's going to be charging for AI, including ChatGPT. They have a plan right now too. So if I could get my favorite tool that I use for a multitude of things and be able to use that in there,
yeah,
I might not need ChatGPT. I didn't delve this deep, and I'm so happy that you came for this.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy too. And I think, yeah, another thing too is we have our Tailwind extension. And so all of these pieces here, every bit of this is in the Tailwind extension.
Yes, it's at the little TW down at the bottom right of our screen, because I have the thing anywhere I am online, it pops up, I can click it and ask for something. So it's great.
So if you want to be able to write, you're in Google and you're writing or Constant Contact or Klaviyo or whatever email solution you're using, and you want to create a particular email, and I'll just pull them up like this. You want to create a particular email type, and you're marketers, so you might understand this. You probably do, but these are different kinds of email frameworks, whether it's the before after bridge or the problem, agitate, solve. You know, we have these different solution bodies, and so you would come in here. I actually, probably my favorite, honestly, is the ADA framework.
Yeah, that's fine.
And so I don't know, again, I always get nervous, but let's say wedding photo.
Don't get nervous. I mean, it is
wedding photo, summer, let's say off-season sale. I don't know if that's even a thing. Well, let's pretend
kind of not, but it doesn't really matter. For the purposes of this, it'll work.
Yeah, so you know, if you want, maybe you want your engagement photos done off season, and I don't know. Anyway, so this should create a framework for you when it pops up, or an email template.
It's hard on Zoom because it takes longer, but
yeah. So you know, this is
once in a lifetime memories. Like, they're using all the words,
right? And this is using that AIDA framework. So getting somebody's attention, you know, getting their interest, desire, action. So these are using those different frameworks behind the scenes to generate these different types of emails. So
I know minds are being blown right now. We've got about 8 minutes left. So I want to make sure, depending on your time, I want to make sure we get to whatever you want.
Yeah, no, and I think we're pretty close. So product description is something that people are really loving. In fact, we're actually in conversations right now with a lot of big
Shopify and all of those
types of places, to integrate some of these things, because they're really happy that with what we're doing. And honestly, and again, I'm not trying to oversell anything here, but what some of those conversations have been is like, oh, your content is actually something we would be happy with our people using as descriptions, as opposed to just what we're seeing out of generic versions.
Yes. And we're all service providers here, but a lot of us have digital products online. So that's
very much, yes. Yeah. So blog topic ideas. I'll just kind of let's not do wedding. Let's do let's say I want to write about sugar, let's say royal icing, cookie decorating.
That makes me hungry.
So actually, plug for my wife. If you all want to check out Sherilyn's Cookie Studio on the Instagrams. She's got a decent little following. My wife is incredibly talented.
Definitely put down, and once we're done here, put in the chat of this video what her website is, for sure.
Yeah, so she doesn't sell cookies, kind of like you, a lot of you all might, but might not. She more sells like the idea of, like, you know, tips, tricks, tutorials, things like that.
So cool.
So here's a title: Tips and Tricks to Make Royal Icing Cookies Look Professional. And you can take this, and then let's take it over here and say, give me an outline from this title.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
And you can add keywords or phrases. Let's say maybe we wanted to do birthday.
Wedding.
Wedding. Perfect.
I mean, just try different ones, right?
Yeah. And then here it's going to generate an outline for your blog. Again, I wouldn't use this necessarily 100% like it is, but it's going to get you from that 0 to 1.
It's a start. And I love how you can add keywords, because a lot of us in our businesses, knowing that keywords rank everywhere, not just Google and social media, everywhere. It's nice to be able to put those in.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people this all the time. YouTube is not a video deal. It's a search engine with video. It's no different than Google is. And so here's an outline that you could run for an article about how to do this. So I only got about 5 minutes left, so I'm going to jump back.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. This is like amazing. And I know it's last minute. If you have time, we're doing at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
I was going to say that I will jump on.
Yay. So if you have any questions about this, you guys, or want to just, I love talking to him because I just get all kinds of information. If you're a VIP ticket holder, definitely attend. We will stream into the Facebook group.
And I will say this, just as a little teaser, during that, I will give you my 2 favorite ChatGPT prompts.
Yay! I'm so excited.
So as far as what's coming, like I said, we're adding about 5 to 10 new use cases a week, new components to that area every single week. Our current roadmap has over 50 use cases. We add more. I should have closed that parent, but we add more almost daily. I was talking to one of my very best favorite head of engineering areas today about creating personas and like people chat bots. It's a very, very smart chat box. But the next really big deal, and I cannot tell you how excited I am for this. I actually sent Jen an alpha version of the output, but it's to create a blog wizard. And so how you saw that starting with an idea and going to an outline, what we're working on is being able to go to an idea to about a 2,000 word blog post in less than 15 minutes. And so
wow,
you're going to guide it. I think one thing that and again, I don't want to get too into this. I only have a couple of minutes, but one thing I think is really interesting is whenever those like make it home cake batters came out, cake mixes came out originally. I don't know if you all know this, but they didn't require eggs, and they didn't sell. Because it made the exact same cake, but people didn't feel like they were actually cooking. People didn't feel like they were part of the process.
They wanted to do something.
they wanted to feel like they were doing something. And that's why in this place, we're not just going to straight create a blog for you. We're going to say, hey, here's 5 ideas of a blog post. Which one do you want? Or even mix and match. Here's an outline. Take a minute and go through and edit, add maybe something, take something away. And then so it's going to go through that process of an idea, but allowing you to be part of the process throughout. So you feel like you have some ownership over that final output. And then in the end, you'll have a blog post. Now, what I would do is I would take that blog post and probably spend another 45 minutes tweaking, editing, adding personal stories, anecdotes, things like that, things that there's no way the technology will know.
To make it uniquely yours.
Make it uniquely yours. But this will get you an incredibly high quality blog post in 15 minutes. And I think adding another 45 on top of that, there are not many people that I know that can create a 2,000 word blog post that they're really proud of in an hour. And that's really where I think we can get to is 15 minutes of us and then 45 minutes of you to get to a point of a really high quality blog post. It will be out. Like I said, I sent Jen a test of what we're looking at, and it wasn't bad. But that was kind of an early alpha version. We're testing beta right now. And by beta, internal beta, and then we'll add it to the that labs area that I was showing you. That will show up. I'd love to say end of next week.
Don't make promises. It's so
that's
hard.
why I said early March. Worst case scenario will be the end of the week after next. So by the middle of March, we'll have this out. And again, it's because we're taking a few minutes to make sure that this is right, because this is something we want to be proud of. And so then the next pieces will be adding more long form content, video scripts, podcast scripts, things like that. And so anyway, that's really
I can't wait to play with it and make a video for YouTube.
Yes, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, and I mean this with my whole heart, I really do. Try Tailwind and try Tailwind's competitors and other things and use what's best for you. I'm really confident in our technology and our product, but if it doesn't work for you, use somebody else, but use something, because I think I tell people this all the time, and I really do mean it. AI is not going to take people's jobs, but people who are really good at using AI are going to take people's jobs. And so get really good at this technology, understand it, and it will allow you to really massively X your business, whether it's 2X, 3X, 10X, I don't know, but it will allow you to either grow your business or free up more time for family. There's a lot of different reasons, but get good at the technology, because if you're not, somebody else is going to. So I appreciate the time. Jen, if you wouldn't mind getting a chance to send me that link to the chat, I'll make sure that I'm on it. You said it's
Absolutely. I'll tag you in it.
okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you all.
All right. We'll see you back in Facebook in 2 seconds.